Hey guys, it's Rolly here, and Season 2 of Naruto Run Away from the Leaf. Without further ado, let's begin with our little recap. I'll just make this quick. So, Naruto and Team Suna had entered the Chunin exams. It was already the second round of the preliminaries, and they already did their 1 month of training. Naruto, and when it was finished, there was no attack on Suna, but Orochimaru was supposedly killed. But we all know that Orochimaru has a way to live again. A way to live again. So, it's possibly one of his followers have revived him somehow or whatsoever. So, yeah. And Naruto left Suna. Naruto tried to return the headband to the Kazekage, but the Kazekage said that he could keep it, which Naruto was really thankful for. After that, that's where I left the cliffhanger. So let's start with the intro. Now, since the intro is now over, without further ado, let's go to the what if. Now, Naruto's been doing these these A and S rank missions, and improving his name around the bingo book, and saving towns, and being kind to others, and got a good reputation for himself. Even he has a good reputation and somewhat of a bad reputation at the same time. It says that he's a very dangerous person. The negative part says that he's a very dangerous person, and if you see him, or if you're in his target list, you will either die, or if you see that you are kind, you will, survive, I think. If you're a bad person, or if you're on his target list, you'll most probably die. The positive part is that Naruto is a kind 13-year-old boy that helps and saves towns. So that's kind of the good part. So let's go to a couple months later, which is now. Let's skip to a couple weeks later. A couple days later. That's what I meant. So it's already been 1 week and 3 days, and Naruto got a message from the Hokage that Sasuke has left the village, and yes, Sasuke will leave the village a little bit late, because the Sound Team have to prepare to bring back Orochimaru back to life. So, yeah. And yeah, now let's go. So, Naruto got a message from the Leaf that the Hokage needs him for a special mission with Jiraiya. As Naruto would accept this because he likes the old man. Because he sees him as a grandfather figure to him, because he's one of the first people that, or maybe if not, the very first person that accepted Naruto and didn't think of him as a monster. So Naruto used the flying Raijin, and he knocked on the door, the Hokage's office door. The Hokage said, "Come in," as Naruto walked in. The Hokage would say, "Alright, Naruto, so I have something to tell you. I'll be retiring." As Naruto would say, "Wait, what?" As the Hokage would say, "Yes, I'm getting too old for my age now, and I can't really run the village now, because I'm too old for my age, and we need to find a new Hokage, that being Tsunade. If she agrees, I will pay all her debts and whatsoever. And you'll be going with Jiraiya. As Jiraiya would say, "Hey Naruto, hi Naruto, my boy." Oh crud! I mean, no, that's Hiruzen. That's Hiruzen's lines. Hey Naruto, are you ready to go find Tsunade? As Naruto would say, so one of the legendary sign that left the village and is afraid of blood, right? As the Hokage would nod, saying yes, she has lost a lot of her people. So she has a fear of blood. But maybe you can help her overcome that fear just like you helped Gaara with his tailed beast. Naruto would nod again, saying, Alright, Gramps. Well, just give me some time and I just need to at least give me a day or two to to get ready and whatsoever. As Naruto would leave and Hokage would say, I bet he's going to eat the ramen. Eat Ichiraku ramen. As Jiraiya would say, yep, he's definitely going to go eat Ichiraku ramen. As Naruto would pop into Ichiraku ramen and Techi and Ayame might say, hey Naruto, you been back? Naruto would say, yeah, can I have the usual please? As Ayame would prepare it and yeah. Naruto would eat it and say, thank you Ayame, here. As Ayame would thank Naruto and they would go and Naruto would also say hi to Techi and Naruto would go and whatsoever. Let's do a little time skip and it was time for the mission with Naruto and Jiraiya. Naruto things would go kind of like exactly in canon, but Jiraiya doesn't really was really awkward with Naruto because he doesn't really know how to interact with his grandson. That is now an S-rank shinobi. That's at least low Kage level. As Jiraiya will try to start a conversation, but only to be ignored by Naruto because he was fiddling around with some seals and whatsoever. When I mean fiddling around, he was trying to make a new seal. So, Jiraiya left Naruto in the apartment and whatsoever, and not the apartment, but the hotel room. And this time, Itachi and Kisame would still raid Konoha, and they had to search for Naruto because one, they sort of kind of need the Nine Tails or whatsoever, and they're just going to suck the Nine Tails chakra out, at least get some of the Nine Tails chakra and go. So, and Naruto's trying to change, and Naruto's one of the things that is changing the Akatsuki at least. They're not just ruthless killers, just killing everyone. So, at least, they're at least having some mercy on the Jinchurikis and just letting them live and whatsoever. So the Akatsuki is a bit less ruthless thanks to Naruto's effect. How should I say this? Influence, yeah. So everything in the Konoha, with Itachi and Kisame and Konoha demanding for the Nine Tails Jinchuriki would go exactly the same, but less people are there are less injuries because they're not as gruesome as before. So, and the village is not really that destroyed, but it's still kind of destroyed. And less people died. I don't know if people died or not, but let's just say only none died. So let's continue. Naruto has a goal to change the Akatsuki's hearts. He wants world peace and whatsoever, and he wants to change the hearts of the Akatsuki first because that's the number one threat that is in the Narutoverse right now. So Naruto So Itachi was still knock on the door, and Naruto would open and say, "Oh, hey Itachi. So, what's up?" As Itachi would say, "So Naruto, could we have some of the Nine-Tails chakra?" As Naruto would say, "Magic word." As Kisame would, and Itachi would say, "Fine, okay, please." And Naruto would look at Kisame, and Kisame would say, "Fine, please, because only for the mission." As Naruto would just take some Nine-Tails chakra and just give it to Itachi and Kisame. But, and if you're asking me why did they just take Naruto, because Naruto's kind of like a subordinate of theirs in the Katsuki, so, and he's one of a good help in the Katsuki, which is, he's technically their professional assassin, sort of. In a way. He's just their assassin in the shadows. And Naruto wants us to do this at least the most peaceful way possible, because he doesn't want to, and he knows that there's people in the hotel, and he doesn't want them to get hurt or anything. And even if the Ten Tails was created, Naruto will still change their hearts and whatsoever, and yeah. Even though the Ten Tails is one of the most powerful tailed beasts, he knows that teamwork is the key to, to defeating something or whatsoever. If that's why you recall or read. Because teamwork makes the dream work. Because Naruto is actually planning this inside and out, and he doesn't want to plan and telling anyone. So, yeah. Itachi and Kisame would leave, and Naruto just close the door and just make a plan on. And he's actually grateful because he's changing the Katsuki's hearts little by little. But he already knows that Itachi is the traitor, so yeah. And he knows that the Tenta would. And he is actually pretty confused because he's actually trying to make a good plan to change the Katsuki's hearts, and he's trying to make this new jutsu of his, which of course, as we know it as Toki no Jutsu. Sasuke would still run after Itachi, but by the time Itachi was already gone, and yeah. So let's go now. Let's continue now. Jiraiya came back and and Naruto said, "Hey Jiraiya, I want to test a new jutsu or some on you. Can I please?" As Jiraiya would say, "Sure," because he hasn't really spent that much time with his godson, and he wants to at least do something. And Naruto tried to talk no jutsu Jiraiya into not peeping to girls, and Jiraiya actually followed this, and he's not like a perv. He's not peeking on girls anymore. And that's basically. And Jiraiya would say, "Naruto, what do you do?" As Naruto would say, "This is Naruto slash Tabiso style, Toki no Jutsu." As Jiraiya would say, "That's actually a very useful technique, but to turning enemies into good people." Naruto would say, "Everyone deserves a second chance, even though they may not need it, or some sorts. People may need a second chance or not. Some people deserve a second chance, but some don't. Some are blinded by hatred and anger, while some are just being manipulated. So I want to help those people out and turn them and let them go back to the light side." No Star Wars reference or anything. As Jiraiya would say, "Well, I believe you can do it. I believe that you can change the Akatsuki's hearts." As Naruto would say, "Yeah. I can't believe my Toki no Jutsu actually worked. But if I were to do it to a real opponent, I have to make it stronger so it won't break that easy, because Toki choking no jutsu only lasts for 5 minutes and then you're back to peeping on girls. Well, I guess I could work on that even though. Ezra would agree, saying, yep. As Naruto still tried to do his Soken no Jutsu some more, but it's only, and if you're wondering why it only lasts in Jiraiya for 5 minutes, because Jiraiya has a really strong will to still doing that thing, so the Soken no Jutsu will only work for 5 minutes on Jiraiya, but because if Naruto could change the person completely, yep, it's staying there permanently, yep. Not completely change it, but change the person, but change the person's opinions and goals. I mean, perspective or goals or whatsoever that's evil, and then he can turn to good. So Naruto and Jiraiya arrived to see Tsunade just gambling her life away. Naruto came up to her saying, "Hello, Lady Tsunade. The Hokage requests you to be the new 5th Hokage." And Tsunade would cut him off and start to make fun of the Hokages. Naruto didn't really look unfazed. He had a really serious look on his face, kind of like this, but without the eye. Wait a minute. Norm? Wait a minute. Wait, look. The head shape and this head. Norman and Sabito! Norman and Sabito! Wait, they legit have the same head shape. They kinda have the same head shape. Kinda have the same hairstyle, but only Sabito's a little bit messier than Norman's. Oh my gosh. When I meant hairstyle, I meant bangs, okay? Yeah, Sarah has the same bangs as Norman, but it's a little bit messier. See? Norman. Sabito. Do you see it? But I see it, okay. Enough of me rambling. Now let's continue. So, Naruto would say, Tsunade, please don't disrespect the Hokages like that. They risked their lives to protect the Leaf Village. And what were you doing? Drinking and gambling your life away. And what would your grandfather think? As Tsunade would think about this, and she'll just disagree, saying, "Alright, brat. Listen here, don't think that you're all superior, because don't think that you're all superior, okay?" Naruto would say, "Miss Tsunade, how about we make a bet? If I were able to touch you, or lay an attack on you, you will come back to the Leaf Village, and never mind. Miss Tsunade, if you come back to the Leaf Village, all your debts will be paid." As Tsunade would raise an eyebrow at this and say, quite tempting, but I'd have to decline. Naruto would say, "How about a little wager?" As Tsunade would raise an eyebrow saying, "A little wager? Tell me, what is it?" Naruto would say, Well, miss, my name is Sabito Uzumaki. One of the remaining Uzumakis left. I'd like to challenge you in a wager. If I were able to land a single hit on you, land a single attack, hit, or at least touch you, you will go back to the Leaf Village and become Hokage. If you don't, if you win, we will leave you alone, and every time you have made a debt or deal, will be paid instantly. Deal? As I would say, "You got a deal, brat." As Naruto would go over there, and Naruto and I would take this outside, and Sai would try to punch the ground. Naruto would jump, and Naruto would use the flying Raijin seal behind her. Because if you don't know how Naruto teleported to Tsunade, before Tsunade and him go outside, Naruto put a seal on Tsunade's back. So Naruto can teleport to Tsunade wherever he wants, wherever he can. Naruto would use the flying Raijin and would Rasengan Tsunade on her back. Tsunade would just be in a little in pain and just heal herself. Naruto would say, whoa, Tsunade sent you. Now you must be the fifth Hokage. And Tsunade would say, yeah, brat. Yeah, brat. I have to visit an old friend first, alright? I'm sorry for the cut, guys. Now let's continue. As Naruto would agree to this, saying, if you try to run away, there's no point in running away because I will always be there to watch you and follow you wherever you go. Alright? As I would nod. And Naruto's been going this training for now, and he has at least a mid-Kage level fighter. Mid to high Kage level fighter. Oh, that's okay with you guys? So, Naruto and Tsunade and Jiraiya will discuss about this Orochimaru, and they'll think about Orochimaru's plan, and they'll say that this is going to be their only chance to capture Orochimaru. So let's go. The plan will go completely like in canon, but this time Naruto will actually eliminate Kabuto, and Orochimaru and Kabuto would retreat and whatsoever. Orochimaru still has his hand sealed, so meh. Basically it. They returned to the village, and Tsunade became the fifth Hokage. Congratulations, Tsunade! After a few days of working as Hokage, as Tsunade as Hokage, Sakura came and said, Sakura barged into the Hokage's office and said, Lady Hokage, Sasuke tried to leave the village. And that's where we're going to leave off, guys. That's a little cliffhanger, and that's going to be the Sasuke retrieval arc. So thank you guys for watching. This is Relly signing out. Bye.